Chevy Trailblazer. This is a 2004 model. It has over 200,000 miles on it, and what is going on is we have a lot of slack in the steering, and these bushings here are just worn out on the upper and lower control arms. So I've got the set here I ordered. These are Detroit axle upper and lower control arms, and also we have the sway bar link kit, so those are also worn. The one thing I do notice about the aftermarket ones is that they have grease zerks, so you'll be able to pump a shot of grease in there, so that's a good thing. So let's get right to it. We're going to pull the tire off and loosen the upper ball joint, and we'll drop this off. It's got 2 bolts obviously, and we'll get it changed out. So let's get started. Okay, so you want to make sure you got the car blocked up on the frame or with some type of jack stand, good quality jack stand. And so we got the tire removed, and now for the upper control arm, we've got 2 bolts. They're 20 millimeter. So I've got those broke loose. You might want to get some lubricating oil to put on those threads for breaking it loose. And then you've got the ball joint here, and that's a 15 millimeter. So we got those loose. We'll take these off, and we'll see if we can get this part. Be aware that this arm here is going to fall out, so just be mindful. So we got our 2 20 millimeter bolts loose, and we are ready to remove them. There's one. And there's 2. All right, and you're going to have to remove the anti-lock brake line as well. I'm just taking a flathead and kind of prying them out. There we go. Okay, the top bolt, before you got to remove the bolt completely, because that bolt rides in this slot. Okay, so there's the upper arm, and you can see the rubber bushings is all dry rotted, and you got rubber bushings hanging out over here, rubber bushings hanging out there. So hopefully get this in. It's going to tighten everything up real good. I need to get some grease. You need to make sure you got some grease on it. That ball joint is, I just changed this and it's already stiff, so it's time for some more grease. And what you'll need, I ended up buying when I did this job last time, this is a 4-in-1 auto ball joint service kit, and with this kit you need this kit to press out that ball joint. I rented the one from the auto parts store, and unfortunately all they had was the clamp here, big clamp, and they didn't have the proper tools to push that ball out. So fortunately I had already bought an adapter kit, and I was able to get that to work with that adapter kit. So be careful when you go to the auto parts store and you think you're going to rent a tool. It didn't have all the parts with it. So you can buy these pretty cheap. Disappointed. Kind of disappointed with those new ball joints already wearing with grease. Okay, so I'm lacking in my tool department. This is a 15/16, and the nut on the I can't even think of it right now, that's on the other side of this, the control arm, is larger. It's probably a 23 or something, 22, I'm not sure. Anyway, I cannot break that loose with the tools that I have at hand. So what I need to do is need to go buy some more tools and get the right tools. So what I did is I just put the original control arm back on this nut here, and I'm going on with the upper control arm, and I'm not going to put this on right now. I have to change the lower ones out, and when I get ready to change the lower ones, I'll have the right tools and I'll change this out. So we've got the 2 bolts. I've got the one in the hole in the front, and I've got to get the rear bolt lined up in the rear. Just putting a little lubrication. Now if you're torquing to spec, any lubrication that you have on the threads is going to change the torque specs. Alright, and so that new bushing is going to be nice and snug. You can hear it squeaking in there. I'm going to put the bolt in on the back side of the wheel well. All right, there we go. Looks like I got it started. Just kind of got to work it, wiggle it in and out. Okay, so the torque specs are 103 foot-pounds for the upper bolts, and this bolt here is 30 foot-pounds. So that'll get you all fixed up, tightened down. It's going to be a big challenge to get a torque wrench up here in this bolt, but if you move this, pry this up or down, you probably can get to it. But probably going to end up with just a wrench here to 103 foot-pounds. So there we go, let's get it tight. But what I've got, there's some paint in here in this new control arm. So I had to persuade it down with my little maul here, just tapping on top. Had to get pretty aggressive with it. I used the old control arm to prop underneath the lower control arm to hold it from bouncing, because it was just bouncing, not going down. So if you have to tap that in, you might want to use that method. And also make sure, do not torque the upper ones first. I torqued them and that got them real stiff, got this upper arm real stiff, so that also hindered this process a little bit. So leave everything loose until you get it attached, and then once you get all your bolts in, then torque it. It's normally how I do it. I just slipped my mind this time. All right, we gotta get it tight. This bolt's 15 millimeter and 30 foot-pounds. All right, 30 foot-pounds. And don't forget your anti-lock brake line. All right, so that's attached. So we'll be back. We got another episode coming. We'll change the pitman arms and the lower control arm, as well as the link, stabilizer link. We'll get that all replaced. But for now, we got the upper control arm replaced, and we got one other side to do. So we're going to go ahead and get the tire on this side and move over to the next side. Hopefully this video helped you out, and if you did, like and subscribe. We'll keep having more videos come out. And until then, we'll see you next time.
Almost forgot.
Adios.